This recording is brought to you by W.I.N.G.S, Women's Interactive Network for Global Schools.
Have to look for other means. The third pillar is organizational development. Development in the organization, in the school management area. And here we are in the midst of it, I'd say, because the digital education is becoming more and more prominent, of course, and it is becoming a compulsory subject starting next school year. To check your personal digital skills and to improve them, we have in Austria the so-called Digicomp project. That means Digicomp P means for pedagogical means and for teachers here. Digicomp 4, 8, and 12 are simply for students of grade 4, grade 12, grade 8, and so on. For the teaching development, we have a wide variety of learning scenarios that are open to the teachers so that everyone really can do what he or she thinks is really useful. And one of the basics is online communication. Especially in times like these, you know, online communication is simply fundamental. Yeah? You can't communicate with others without being online. Yeah. In times of Corona and other threats, it's essential for teachers and for persons in general to be able to communicate online. The next thing is targeted use of digital media. You really have to you know where to use it, how to use it, because if you don't do that, if you don't have the this professional attitude, yeah, then it might turn out to be counterproductive, yeah. And you have to use individualization scenarios. That means for us that you have to offer the students the opportunity to use to make individual use of digital media and to create their own projects. Organizational development. Good technical infrastructure is very important, and that's a problem here in Austria too, like in many areas, especially since we're in the Alps, you know, in many valleys we have low or very bad internet connection, but we're working on it to improve that. There's a coordination of measures to put that, and also for students to get, for example, their laptops or their tablets. It's rolled out momentarily this school year, next school year. Students will get their laptops or their tablets at the age of, let's say, 11 and 12. And it's essential for schools to have one platform for all of them, because else it becomes too complicated. And it is a networking initiative, eEDUCATION. It's also very important simply to work together, always to share information, to share experience, and to share material. Two aspects are very important for us and for me too. It's first of all to find out your personal competence. There's the DigiCheck tool for that, and then to improve your competence. And Digicomp here is a medium of doing that. Okay, that's the first presentation. Then I'll put a new one because we'll do some online work together. I'll get a new one for you. Mm-hmm. For all of you, but I get now the information that I can't do that again. Edita, can you help me there?
I'm doing it now.
So that I can, okay. I'll try it again. It says Freigabe für mehrere Teilnehmer gleichzeitig möglich. If I put that.
I made you host.
Okay, I'll try it now. No. Let me see. Do you see me or?
We see you, yes.
Only me, yeah? And not my screen.
No, you are not sharing.
Ah, it's interesting. Huh. Okay. Now, I hope it will work now. Let me see. Okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yeah. All your folders.
All my folders, you see them, yeah?
Yeah.
You see eEDUCATION now? Oh, only the
Educational
folders.
link, yes.
Hmm?
Education link, education BLK to 18.
Education AT, yeah?
To 18, 2018.
Yeah.
You saw it, receive that.
You see me. You see that, yeah? Education. The first is I have to make
but it's
sure.
It's not open.
Does it move? Yeah.
No.
No. Then I have to try another one. Yeah. I have to this one. I hope this one will work.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now it works. Yeah. Okay. So
is it okay with you? Everybody is okay for the participants? Does it work?
Yes, it works.
Okay.
Yes.
Super. Thank you.
Everyone now, yeah? Okay, because it didn't work in the beginning. I don't know why. Okay, now everyone has got this, and that's important. The last thing I talked about was DigiCheck, yeah? And I think I'll show that to you. It's this eEDUCATION AT is the homepage of our project in Austria. And I'll simply show you some aspects of it, yeah? DigiCheck is one of the first things where you find out how good you are, yeah? It's DigiCheck, for example, is for elementary school, for secondary education 1, 2, and so on, yeah? And also for teachers. Of course, it's in German here, and if you want to translate it into English, simply use Google Translate. I think that's not a problem, yeah? So if I go there, Pädagogenbildung, then you can do a test, a DigiCheck. You can check your own competence, and you can do it, for example, if you're at a school, you can do it there via the school, or you can do it anonymously, like here. And then you can go to DigiComp, for example. You can go to DigiCheck B, and then you can do a test how good you as a teacher are, for example, what you know about, for example, digital competence and so on. First of all, there is a self-evaluation That's the first one. And afterwards, you can check your competences in these areas, in these fields that are very important for us. Yeah, digital competences in IT, digital living, creating digital material, and so on. So you can really improve or first check your competence, and then you can try to improve it. Yeah. Self-evaluation would be like this, for example. What can I do? And then you can say, okay, I'm very good at it, or I'm not at all good at it. Yeah. And after having done this DigiCheck, yeah, you can then find material or courses that are offered to improve your competence. That's, I think, a very important thing for us. Then there is also what we call a grid of competences that are needed. And this time I will maybe show that for the students, yeah, for example, because this DigiCheck cannot only be done by teachers, it can be done by students. And then they can also do or use material, for example, to produce their to improve their competences. They choose here, for example, I take one of them, a certain field, for example, here, computational thinking maybe, and then you can say you need material from 2 different sources here. And then you have, for example, material that you can really download and use. Example. If you continue that, you see you really find material and you can really download the material. Animated dialogues, for example, here, create your own comics and so on. You see lots of material that students or teachers can use for their lessons. Okay. Then let's go back here. One of the important things for us is also to have lots and lots of resources. If you go to resources here, for example, one can find, for example, etapas. One of them. You can, as a teacher, for example, you can offer to make what's called an etapa. That's a small lecture or small presentation or any task that students are offered and that they can do within a short time. Yeah, that's also something that's I think quite good, because lots of teachers are involved in here, and they are creating their own material, not only for themselves, but also for other teachers. That's also very important, I think, for me. If we go to a list here, for example, then you can sort them. You can say, okay, I want to have some etapas from the field of biology. You can search it. And then you get some things you can have a look at. For example, information about a mammal. And there's a direct link to a Moodle course that now students or teachers can use. Introduction video very frequently, then tasks, what students should do, information, and even a sample what the solution could look like. So they have got really a wide variety of options to work here. Let's go back to education. I think if you have a look at this page, you find lots of different information, interesting information. And it's a network really of schools. The schools are on different levels. As you see here, there are member schools, there are expert schools and expert plus schools. Expert plus schools must coordinate or work together with other schools. That's also very important, simply to improve our knowledge. And what's also very essential for us, what I want to show you in the end, is this one, safer internet, because all schools do that, or almost all schools do that, especially in February. We have a so-called Safer Interest Month, and schools there, for example, can improve the knowledge about a safe way to use the internet. It's very important for teachers, for parents too, because parents want to know it, for young people, and in youth work in general. Okay, if you go, for example, to young people, then you find different material there for students to check how good they are. For example, quizzes. Quizzes can be taken in English or German. I choose English here. And then, for example, they have the options here to do quizzes, to find out their competences, to improve their competences. Let's play. There are also, for example, Kahoots and so on. Lots of things to do. That's the Austrian side of Safer Internet. And there's also an international site or EU site. This one, Better Internet for Kids, EU. That's also very nice. And I think the Austrian site is very similar to this one, essentially. And here you can find lots and lots of information that you can use, for example, at your schools. I think that's very useful for anybody, any teacher in the world, because it's in English. And so you can really have a good choice of things you can do here. Yeah. For example, if you go to children and young people again, you find information, and you find, of course, material that you can use, and more information about the so-called Safer Internet Day. Yeah, I think that was enough for the beginning, because I want to keep my time, and I'll stop here. Okay, I hope it was a very an oversight and overview of what really is happening in Austria. And of course, lots of things are work in progress, and I hope that that will continue and go on for a long time.
Okay.